Hey, it's Maren, and this is the lunar forecast for the Gemini Full Moon happening on December 12th, 2019 at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you're on the West Coast, that will be a day before on the 11th. If you're, Asia, Europe, anywhere else, it will be a little later on the 12th here of December. So we'll get started with the astrology first, then we will look at the tarot cards, then we will look at the law of attraction cards, and see what both vertical and horizontal views and guidance that we can pull from this full moon, which is happening on the 12th and is where the sun in Sagittarius will be opposite the moon in Gemini. Because full moons are always times of culmination where the sun in the sky is opposite the moon, and it's the season of the sun, and the moon being in the opposite sign, the contrasting sign, means that it's a full moon. The moon is at its highest, fullest point. This is a culmination, as all full moons are, of cerebral communicative energy, because with Sagittarius and Gemini, both signs are mutable yang signs, meaning that they're dealing with the outward expression of change, which has to do innately with ideas and communication. This is disposed because the dispositor will be the ruler of the moon, and the ruler of the moon is Mercury, so it's disposed by Mercury in Sagittarius, which is its exile or its antithesis, meaning that Mercury is in a sign opposite to the sign that it rules, because Mercury rules Gemini. So when a planet is in a sign of its antithesis, it has very foreign, the lens that it's coming through is very foreign to its innate significations. So while Mercury, and specifically with Gemini, is associated, I need to start talking slower. Since Mercury is associated with detail management and organization of ideas and communication, and the sign of Gemini is Jupiter ruled and deals with large, expansive, explorational ideas, Mercury then has a difficult time filling up the lens and the microphone of Sagittarius. So things will probably feel like we're trying to philosophize or bring forward spiritual ideas that don't cater very well to tangible, verbal, practical understanding. The squares to Neptune from both the sun and the moon may make things seem too good to be true, and they might indicate deception, whether that's self-deception or deception by others. So be wary of communication discrepancies leading to full-blown lies. Be wary of overextending or over-promising something and then feeling like a martyr when the investment is not returned. So be careful about speaking in a way that makes you seem larger than life and then not being able to measure up to that. Luckily, Mars will be in its own sign of Scorpio, because Mars rules Scorpio as one of its two signs. It rules Aries and Scorpio, so Mars is in its yin sign of Scorpio. And it's exactly by degree trine to Neptune, so Mars is strong in its own sign, applying within 0 degrees to harmonize with the planet of glamour and oneness. Meaning that our efforts for whatever we're letting go or unleashing under this full moon are supported by a spiritual why. The situation that we find ourselves in, we do feel compelled and motivated to do so as part of our dharma. We feel purposeful and aligned in our efforts, and we're putting our energy towards culminating a project that unites us further than just with ourselves. One of the reasons that we feel so propelled forward by this full moon, this culmination, is that we know that the reasons behind it are bigger than just the little I. Venus will conjoin Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, so our sense of harmony here is fueled by serious crisis healing. Venus in Capricorn is earthy and practical and loves her high-quality designer, but conjunct Saturn and Pluto, she's more concerned with finding harmony in the deep, sobering shit that brings us together. This is not fantasy time, it's tangible, and though we have big dreams and big feelings, the world in front of us is asking for practical choices that make us feel reassured in the moment, the moving now. Jupiter will also be trine Uranus, which is an outer planet aspect to be excited about, as Jupiter is in early Capricorn, indicating that benevolence will be radical or outside of what we'd expect, and maybe it's time to be our own provider of that optimism and abundance. Maybe we start that abundance from the inside out. For this full moon, some of the guidance that I've drawn together, some poetic musings that I've found from the energies of this astrological alignment, are to allow ideas to flow forth enough to discern the useful from the useless. Discernment will be big in this full moon. If it feels too good to be true, don't fight that resistance and trust that your path is a practical enough path to follow because it is authentic to you. So being practical is to be authentic, and being authentic is practical. Particulars will work themselves out if you keep an open mind to receiving support through all channels of your life. You're open to making those incisive decisions, and you're not lying to yourself, while at the same time you're seeing the magic in the here and the now. I think that this full moon is asking you to release and to culminate any ideas that are too far out of the now to serve you in practical healing, and to trust that to take the time for yourself to workshop and visualize these great feats that you know you have coming for you is actually useful to your long-term highest self. We don't have to be a slave to feeling good about doing nothing, but we don't have to circumvent ourselves out of maybe doing some of the busy work that's necessary. There's a flow that's both magical and transcendental and is so rooted in the here and the now. So with that being said, let's pull a tarot card, 3-card past, present, future spread to see where we're coming, where we are, and where we're headed from this full moon. So for the past card, we have the 9 of Wands reversed. When the 9 of Wands is inverted, it generally indicates that we do not have as clear of a sense of boundaries, or we are not aware of the dangers. We don't have our guard up when maybe we should be. So I think we're coming into this full moon having realized that we were not thinking ahead of the attack, or we were not prepared for the sense of disillusionment, and realizing that we were not in the right. The card for the present that we have is the 3 of Cups upright. So with the 3 of Cups upright, we are setting the emotional tone for the progress that we're bringing forth. This is a time here to articulate the clean slate and to find the abundance in what is, so that we can practically develop what is becoming. The future card for what will come about, I just pulled the same card again. Accidentally. The future card that we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is someone who goes out and gets worldly shit done. This is a perfect card for what will come about and what guidance we need to deal with this full moon. Not deal with in a bad way, but we need to go out and do the practical things that actually fuel our dreams. So now we will pull a Law of Attraction card to see what guidance we have in attracting the situations of wholeness for this full moon. As I enjoy people, I attract enjoyable people. I want great relationships. I so enjoy nice, clever, funny, energetic, stimulating people, and I love knowing that this planet is abundant with them. It seems that the more I enjoy people, the more people whom I enjoy come into my experience. I love this time of spectacular co-creation. So this is indicating that some guidance that we have is to find support and rooting with those around us. Enjoy the company of loved ones as the holiday season approaches, and make use of the resources of morale around you. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know down below if this resonates with you, with anything you have going on for this full moon, or any questions or musings you also have about it. So if you found this helpful, like, subscribe, do all the things. I do offer private astrology consultations and would love to read for you. Otherwise, I will see you in the next lunation.